The rain on Tiraxis Prime was never gentle. It came in waves like liquid glass, sweeping over the domes of the city and hammering against shielded windows. Human explorer Garrett Rain leaned against the outer rail of the Xenohistorian's embassy, his coat soaked, his mind heavier than the sky. He wasn't supposed to be here. His assignment was long over. But the mystery had stuck with him like a splinter in the brain. The alien widow. The one they all whispered about. The one they called mad. Her name was Velier, a Solari, tall and silver-skinned with veined, glowing tattoos curling across her arms like vines. She lived alone in the storm-choked ruins on the outskirts of the city, once a flourishing district of Solari culture before the war. Now, it was little more than rubble and ghosts. She lost her mate during the purge, his translator bot had told him weeks ago. Hasn't spoken since. Talks about things that never happened. Imagined threats, conspiracies, voices. Sad, really. Don't listen to her. She's mad. Garrett had nodded. At the time, he believed them. But then came the dreams. They weren't his memories. In them, he saw a room not built for human eyes, shimmering crystal shelves, floating data pods, a Solari male screaming as energy crackled around him. Then the sound of a voice, whispering in terror. They're coming. They want the gate. You must protect it. He saw Velithier's face, stained with something thicker than tears. And he felt her grief. He tried to push the dreams away, to leave the planet. But the ship refused departure, citing atmospheric interference. That had never happened before. So he went to the ruins. Not because it made sense, but because it didn't. The wind clawed at him as Garrett climbed over the shattered arch of what had once been a hall of learning. Now it was a skeletal frame of stone and metal, barely standing against the gale. And inside, beneath the collapsed dome, was her. Velier sat cross-legged beside a broken pillar, a luminescent orb floating above her palm. Her eyes were closed, face calm. When she heard his boots crunch the gravel, she opened them and stared directly into his soul. You came. He hesitated. How did you? I saw you. In the weave. Her voice echoed like a song across stone. They say you're mad, he said, approaching. But I keep seeing things. Your memories. Why? Velier stood, and the orb blinked out. Because you listened. Because you're not blind to what was taken from us. Garrett frowned. Taken? She walked past him, trailing her fingers along the cracked stone. Do you know why they call me mad human? It's not because I mourn. It's because I remember. She led him deeper into the ruins, past what was once a sacred observatory, where Solari scholars watched the stars for threads of fate. Past shattered glyphs and desecrated idols. Finally, she brought him to a sealed chamber whose entrance was half buried in rubble. They erased everything, she whispered. The historians. The diplomats. The coalition. They say the purge was random, a breakdown in Solari tech that killed millions. That's the official story, Garrett agreed. She looked at him then, eyes glowing with fury. But it was no accident. My mate, Velier, discovered something buried beneath the city. An ancient device. A gate. And when he tried to protect it, they came. Coalition black agents. Humans. Garrett froze. That can't be. There'd be records. They scrubbed them. Silence. The storm outside grew louder. She stepped closer. You dreamed it. Because Velier's last thoughts were etched into the weave. And when I linked to you through the old codestone, you saw the truth. You linked to me? The dreams were not hallucinations. They were a message. A call. Garrett's voice dropped to a whisper. Then what do you need me for? Velier turned to the sealed door and placed her hand on it. Her veins flared with light, and ancient circuits hummed. Because you are not bound by their silence. You are human, and only a human can bypass the biometric seal. The stone cracked. Dust fell. With a hiss, the door opened. Inside was a chamber untouched by time. A ring-shaped machine floated above a crystalline floor, humming softly, covered in alien etchings and data streams that danced through the air like static ribbons. The gate, Velier said, breathless. Garrett stepped forward. What does it do? It connects worlds, realms, not just planets. It pierces dimensions. She looked at him. My people worshipped it. The humans feared it. He scanned the glyphs with his holotool. His eyes widened. This thing, it's connected to multiple quantum points. If the Coalition found this, they'd shut it down. Or worse, use it to erase us completely. But why keep you alive? He asked. Why let you stay here? She gave a hollow laugh. What better way to hide the truth than to brand the witness mad? Garrett walked slowly around the device. We have to bring this to the open. Send the data off-world. She touched his shoulder. They'll silence you too. Let them try. Hours later, they emerged from the ruins. Garrett uploaded the scans to a private uplink drone, hidden in the hills, one he hadn't told anyone about. It would reach the Human Concord's outer archives in less than a day. They didn't speak much as they walked, but Velier turned to him before parting. You are the first to listen. I wish I had sooner, Garrett said. She nodded. Then listen again. The gate is waking. You are part of this now. The next morning, the skies over Tiraxis Prime turned orange. Coalition enforcement craft descended on the city. Fast, quiet, without sirens. They cordoned off the ruins, labeled it a containment zone. Garrett was arrested. Not formally. No charges. No rights read. They put a black bag over his head. He woke in a dark room, arms bound, throat dry. Across from him sat a figure in a sharp, seamless suit. You poked your nose where it didn't belong, the agent said calmly. That woman is unstable. Grieving. You've let her trauma infect you. Garrett looked at him, silent. You're a good researcher, Rain. You've got a career ahead of you. Say you were confused. Say she manipulated you. He leaned forward. Or disappear. Garrett smiled, cracked-lipped. It's too late. The agent blinked. What? The data's already off-world. The man stood, furious. You idiot, do you have any idea what you've done? I listened. The lights flickered. A low hum filled the room. And then an explosion rocked the ground. In the sky above Tiraxis Prime, the gate had activated. Not in the chamber, but above it. A rift tore through the clouds, and from it poured a cascade of blue fire and shimmering shapes too massive to comprehend. The gate had opened, not just to other worlds, but to Solari exiles lost to time, and to echoes of civilizations erased. And leading them was a single figure, tall, glowing, silver-eyed. Velier, no longer grieving, but ascending. 3 days later, Garrett Rain stood before the United Human Concord Tribunal, hands free, voice steady. He showed them the evidence. He showed them the truth. And for the first time, they listened. Epilogue. The Coalition's grip fractured. Protests rose. Investigations launched. Velier was offered a seat on the new Solari Restoration Council, but she declined. I have other places to be, she said, her voice distant. Other worlds to warn.